If Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic played together, how many championships could they win? For those who don't know, Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic are two of the top 5 best players in the league right now. And we're going to be keeping track and seeing how many championships and MVPs they can obtain in a 5-year span. But I am not going to hold y'all no longer. Let's see what this crazy duo can pull off in the first year. Starting off this first season, Nikola Jokic has had his best performance yet stat-wise with 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 11 assists. But we cannot forget about Luka's outstanding performance as well with 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists a game. And with the dominating duo making it into the playoffs for the first time together, they had to go against the Suns and Kevin Durant. Even though Kevin Durant and the Suns were quite the handful, taking the series to a Game 7, the Nuggets still managed to pull through with the win and have advanced to the second round. Once the Nuggets defeated the Suns, they pretty much had a smooth sailing through the second and third round against the Golden State Warriors and the Portland Trail Blazers, and now they are about to face Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks in the finals. Though some people will find this finals matchup quite laughable, the Hawks still managed to win 2 games in the NBA Finals against the Nuggets, taking it to a Game 6, but eventually this insane duo had gotten the best of them, winning their first NBA title together. And for most of you basketball fans out there, seeing Jokic as another MVP isn't that big of a surprise, but he is the finals MVP for this first year, averaging 23 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists during the series. And now it is time to tally up what this duo has accomplished in their first year playing together. The fact that Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic playing together in their first year and they have accomplished every single thing that you see on this chart, it is pretty impressive, with Nikola Jokic being the MVP, the Nuggets winning the championship, and Nikola Jokic being the finals MVP. Now that we have seen what this duo is capable of doing, it is now time to kick off the second year. While the Nuggets were going absolutely crazy in the regular season, becoming the first seed once again, Nikola Jokic obtained his second MVP for his second year in a row playing with Luka Doncic, averaging 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. And with Jokic earning his 4th MVP this season, he is now tied in MVPs with the GOAT LeBron James. And if he earns another MVP after this season, he will then be tied with the other GOAT, Michael Jordan. But once again, we cannot forget to mention Luka's amazing performance in his second season playing with Jokic, with him having a slightly better performance, averaging 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists. And with the Nuggets being the first seed once again, they have had another smooth sailing going up against Kyrie Irving and the Mavericks, Anthony Davis and the Lakers, and they had even managed to beat the Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards, that is now a 95 overall. But if you paid close attention to what I just said about the Lakers, I mentioned Anthony Davis instead of LeBron James. And you may be thinking, well, he's probably injured or retired by now. And you may also be thinking, why is this even important? Well, this is important to know because the 40-year-old laboratory experiment is no longer on the Lakers and clearly has more left in the tank, taking his talents to New York City, and is now a New York Knick going up against the unstoppable Nuggets in the finals. Even though 40-year-old LeBron James is still a healthy 94 overall, he could not overcome the challenge against the dynamic duo, losing to them in a 6-game series, giving Jokic and Luka their second championship playing together, and giving Jokic his 3rd finals MVP, where he averaged 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. So now let's go to the chart to add what this duo earned in their second year playing together. In the second year of Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic playing together, they managed to do the exact same thing that they did in year 1, with Jokic winning the MVP, the Nuggets winning the championship, and Nikola Jokic becoming the finals MVP for the 2nd time in a row. And now that I've seen Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic win 2 championships together in a row, I have one question and one question only, and that is, could they pull off a three-peat? With that being said, I think it's now time to kick off year 3 so we can find out. As we're kicking off year 3, we may potentially be seeing this Nuggets team pull off a three-peat. For those who don't know what a three-peat is when a team wins 3 championships in a row. Only a couple of teams were able to pull this off, including the Bulls and the Lakers, and we will find out if this Nuggets duo can do the same. But first, let's talk about Luka's performance, as he was the MVP for this 3rd season, averaging 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. But we cannot forget to mention that Jokic was very close to taking this year's MVP home with him, averaging 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. Even though Luka and Jokic are both averaging triple doubles this season, they unfortunately dropped from 1st to 5th seed, and you would think that they would have had some problems this year in the playoffs. Well, I'm here to tell you that they kinda did. But yet again, this duo overcame the challenges, defeating Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder, Kyrie Irving and the Rockets, and Scoot Henderson and the Trailblazers. And then once they've reached the finals for the 3rd year in a row, they had to go up against Kawhi Leonard and the 76ers. Even though this duo put up quite the fight, the Nuggets still managed to overcome the 76ers as well in a 7-game series, making them one of the very few teams to three-peat, with Luka also getting his very first Finals MVP, averaging 36 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists during this series. And it seems like after this 3rd year, it's now safe to say that this could be arguably one of, if not the best duo we've seen since Kobe and Shaq. But even though this duo has already made history within a 3-year span, it's now time to kick off year 4 to see if they can make some more of it. Throughout these 3 years, Luka and Jokic were having an amazing MVP race against one another, but unfortunately that race has come to an end due to Victor Wembanyama, who is now a 95 overall. But not only did he win MVP, he also managed to win Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. The only players that achieved such an accomplishment were Michael Jordan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Hakeem Olajuwon. But the MVP race wasn't the only thing Luka and Jokic fell short to this year. They also unfortunately fell short in seedings, going from the 5th seed to the 11th seed, which means they didn't make it to the playoffs this year either. And that also means that they haven't earned anything on the chart in year 4, but it's now time to jump into the final year to see if they can redeem themselves. After accomplishing nothing in the 4th year of Luka and Jokic playing together, I feel like they shouldn't be ashamed of anything because they literally pulled off a three-peat a year before that. But it seems like this duo has done a lot of reflecting during the offseason, as they went from the 11th seed to the 6th seed, and Jokic has once again earned another MVP, averaging 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists, making that his 5th MVP, tying up with Michael Jordan in MVPs. And I think it's safe to say that Luka was very close to taking the MVP home with him, as he averaged 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. But I'm sure that the MVP race was probably the least of their concern, as they made it back into the playoffs, kicking off the first round defeating Anthony Davis and the Lakers. Then they beat the Timberwolves, even though they had Anthony Edwards, who is now a 97 overall. And after defeating the Timberwolves, they ran into Victor Wembanyama and his duo partner Damian Lillard in the conference finals. But even this duo couldn't stop Luka and Jokic, beating them in a 7-game series, and now they have to go up against the Pistons and Cade Cunningham, who is now a 94 overall. And long story short, this legendary Nuggets duo absolutely demolished this team, sweeping them in a 4-game series, and also giving Jokic his 5th Finals MVP, averaging 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists during this series. And as you can see on the chart here, this duo summed up a total of 4 MVPs, 4 championships, and 4 Finals MVPs in a 5-year span playing amongst one another. But let's take a quick look at Luka and Jokic's individual accolades. As you can see, Luka's accolades are looking pretty valid, but Jokic's accolades created a question that I would like for you guys to answer either in your heads or down below in the comments. And the question is, does this now make Jokic the GOAT of the NBA? Is he now the greatest center of all time? Or is he both? I'm gonna just leave that answer up for y'all to decide. And that's pretty much it for this video, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.